Hi guys, welcome back to Ray's Create Cards. This is Ray Henderson out of Morristown, Tennessee, and today I thought I would visit a stamp and die set that I have had for a while. Really haven't had a chance to thoroughly play with it. There's more techniques and things that you can do with this versatile set. So, by Simon Hurley, he has got, I've already got it mounted in my Misty. It's a full background stamp, okay, called Darling Dahlias. It's 5 pieces because there are stamps in here that you can take out and stamp individually with, and you can kind of tell because I've already used them. So you have a big leaf swirl, a small leaf swirl, a smaller flower, and a larger flower. And then you can always just pop them right back in there to do some background stamping, which we're going to do on this piece here in just a moment. And Simon Hurley has Spellbinders make his dies. And so here we go. There's 2, 4, 7 dies in this set. And you'll notice that for your flower, you have an intricate part and then you have the outline part. So if you take a piece of cardstock and all you used was the intricate part, didn't use the outline at all, you would get this. Isn't that awesome? So my idea was to take and cut a piece of cardstock, do some random ink blending, same color, different colors, whatever, and then strategically place another piece with several of these cutouts so that you could see the different colors behind. Wouldn't that be pretty? I haven't done that yet, but wouldn't that be pretty? Now, if you want the intricate cut like this, you do have to use the outlines die and the intricate die so that it will cut it all out. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. So what I elected to do today was to cut it out of some brushed silver cardstock. I don't know, can you tell it's silver on the screen? Maybe. And it is by Altenew. I love their brushed silver. It is so pretty without being too flashy, because we don't always want a lot of flash in our cards, right? Now, what I will tell you is if you go ahead, if you're going to do something like we're doing on today's card, I wouldn't stamp the flower image first, and I'll tell you why. Let me kind of line this up. If you look, you'll see that there's kind of a flattish edge where it's not as scalloped around the border, and you're going to find that as well on your flower. So right here is that flattish edge. So when you line it up, unless you hit it right the first time after you put glue on there, your black lines may show. And to be honest, there in the middle, I have gone ahead and colored in with alcohol markers, yellows and browns, but very, very little of that actually does show through. So we aren't using the stamped flower image on this card only because of how I am going to do it today. But let's go ahead and get started with stamping the background image. And do I see... Yep, here we go. I'm actually going to be using, this is by Honeybee, and it is no line coloring. It's a waterproof hybrid ink, which is wonderful, but I want my background to be subtle, and this is beautiful for a subtle. If you have like a real pale gray, that would work as well. So I'm just going to ink this up probably about twice, but we'll see. You can't really tell I'm putting any ink down on that rubber because it is fine. And I'm going to try to make sure I'm hitting all the area that's going to be on my piece of cardstock here. And the cardstock is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches because we've got some other layers that we are going to be doing. Let me see. Yeah, see, I didn't get good pressure all the way around. And I didn't because I've gotten lazy and I'm not taking out my sticky mat, which I should since this is red rubber, but I'm not. And so I'm just going to kind of tap over this again very lightly. And we're going to do it again. And hopefully I'm getting the ink where I need it. I'm on video. Come on. I need the ink fairy to be nice to me. And so there we go. I think that doesn't look too bad. May want to do it just a little bit more in some areas. Let's see here what we get. And, of course, I keep holding the ink pad in my other hand instead of being able to really use both hands. That would be better. That's better. And I kind of like the dark and light areas in it. I don't like everything to look just even Steven. Now it's a hybrid ink, which means it's going to take a second to dry. So I'm just going to lay that to the side for a minute because it won't take it that long to dry. I'm very quickly just going to go ahead and go over my stamp with my Gina K Tidy Towel. And just kind of remove that because I will not need my Misty. Can I talk today? I don't know. I won't need my Misty again because I have kind of pre-done some things. I want this down just for the minute, just so it was easier for you to see some of the things that we are going to be doing. Once again, I've changed my sound settings. We won't be using a heat tool in today's video, so that remains to be seen if I have fixed the problem with y'all hearing the heat tool in the background when we're working. So what I've done is I have cut a card base 4 1/4 by 11. I've got it kind of taped together on the inside so it'll lay good and flat. And then I have a piece of cardstock here that is in a neutral color that is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 to cover the whole front. And if I can find, I just had it. Here we go. I'm going to just go ahead and get that put down on my card base. And then we will continue from there. I didn't even get any in that corner. So how has everybody been doing? So, oddly enough, we have been in the 60s this week. And I'm not going to complain, even though it's kind of cramped my outdoor style a little bit because we've been getting rain for, probably 3 days now, which is awesome. Love, love, love it. But let's get this put on here. Make sure my card front is covered. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Hold on. I'm going to peel this off ever so carefully. We're going to do this again. A Jennifer McGuire I will never be as far as being able to get that put in so perfectly. But I think I've just pulled it off. So now we've got that covered. My next layer is going to be a piece of a light blue. We're going to go ahead and put that on. And this one is cut at 4 1/4 by 5. I do want my corners, my edges not to come rising up. Okay. And so I am going to have about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. All the way around. I want it straight to my straight. I think I'm crooked up here on top. So there we go. We got that down. Is it straight? No. Yeah, this is not one of my days for just being able to create little mini miracles on screen. But there we go. Now, piece that was in there, I think that's dry, is going to end up going on top. So here we go. We're going to put this down. And, you know, if you decide to, if you have this set and you decide to do this card, you don't have to have all the layers that I am putting on here. You don't, but I don't know. I just thought it made a very special card. And if you've watched my videos any length of time, you know I don't often do a lot of layers on my cards. But sometimes it's nice. It's really nice to have that. So now we have this. And at this point, I think I am going to take this up because I found my other sticky mat. And it had fell into the floor of my closet, and I did not realize it. So here's my other sticky mat. That's also getting lots of love. Now, are you going to be able to see okay? I think so. So I did go ahead and pre-die cut all of my silver pieces. And I'm going to take the outline of these flowers. I did 2 big and one of the smaller ones. And let me get these put together here. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my Distress Oxide tumbled glass. Let me get my brush. And we're going to put some pale blue down, mostly in the middle. I want a little bit more color than that. And same for all 3. So I had read a couple of months ago that we were going to have a bumper crop in Tennessee this year of cicadas. Cicadas, jarflies, however you want to call them. And I thought, I don't know if that's true or not. But every 7 years, there is a bumper crop of them. So I got up and went outside the other day. I had 7 of their little bodies, empty bodies, where they had molted out on my right front tire. 7 of them. It was unmistakable. They were all over the porch. They're all over everywhere. And a lot of the, I don't know, do you call them nymphs when they first come out of that shell? I'm not sure what the proper term is. And they were just kind of like sitting around waiting to get their wings dry. And it's almost like, you know, in looking at them, I'm thinking, well, you know, how is it going to sound here in the near future? I don't know. And I didn't even tell you. So this is Salty Ocean Distress Oxide. And I'm just going around the sides. And I'm not being particularly careful if it's all even, Steven. But I am leaving a little bit of light in the middle. But we just kind of want to two-tone these for a little bit of added interest, because you'll be able to see part of that even after that intricate die cut is put on top. And by the way, yes, these products are still available. So that was Salty Ocean. And I'm just going to gently pick these up and put them to the side and make sure they get good and dry. And you never, ever want to use alcohol on your sticky mats or your photopolymer stamps. So I'm just going to put down a little bit of water and wipe that up. Because now I need to bring in the leaves that I cut. Love these cloths, by the way. Love, love, love these. And my husband found them at Home Depot. And it's their brand. You got to be careful because both products have the same orange color. They have an actual cloth on a roll that is the same color. It's also microfiber. These are in between a paper towel and a cloth. To clarify that, you can wash these, and I have, and they come out fine. The edges aren't frayed. It's still good to go, lint-free. Cleaning glass and stuff in the house has been a dream. You know, no lint to leave behind, no film maybe from the paper towel, because I've had that happen too. And it's just like one time, you're done. You're done. Makes it so easy. So now I'm going to be bringing in my Twisted Citron for my first color for my leaves. And let me get my handy dandy Gina K pick tool. Well, I say let's get the handy dandy pick tool. I did cut these out of my thick accent opaque cardstock, so they are a little bit on the thick side. And get these down on here. I may have to move them here in a minute. I've got one more. I didn't know how many I'd need, so I cut 4 of the large and 1 of the small. Let me have that. We're going to space them out a little bit further apart. I just want to make sure that they're on there good. And I'm going to bring in a brush that I use for my Twisted Citron. And we are just going to go over these leaves. It's not hard to do. Just the leaves with the smaller brush. And if I go outside the line, I'm not going to worry about it too much. All this beautiful swirly pattern. I love this so much. It's such a pretty set. Very pretty. Okay. These are really tiny. I just want that color on there. Here's this one. This one. And you could stamp and cut these out on a colored cardstock. Be no shame in that. Ain't quite good enough right there. Where is my... Here it is. Let me get this. I love this for keeping my ink pads pretty secure. Okay. And this is just going to be my first color. There we go. Good on that. I'm going to put away my Twisted Citron and get out my mowed lawn. And for this, I want a small brush. Here is a honeybee brush that is size 5. I haven't bought any of their other sizes yet. And just at the base of the leaves, I'm going to add just a little bit more of the darker green. There we go. And this comes together so easy without being too fiddly. But yeah, even in a normal year, sometimes you can sit outside of a summer evening and just almost need earmuffs. Because those cicadas can be so loud. But if you were raised in the South, you get it. You know where I'm coming from. It almost would not... Whoops, I missed one. It almost wouldn't be normal not to do it, right? Not to have to deal with that sound. If we didn't have it, we would wonder if the world was coming to an end. All right. There we go. Just a titch more on that one. And I'm looking. I didn't really get any on that tiny little leaf. See if I can put some in there. There's a little bit. So there we go. And that'll add a little bit of interest. The mowed lawn and Twisted Citron is one of my go-tos for a green blend. It isn't the only go-to for a green blend, but it is one of them. And aren't you glad I went ahead and did all this? Can you imagine how long we would be here if I had not stamped and done all the die cutting? And because I stamped all this with my VersaFine for fine details, because as you can tell, those lines are really fine in the flower and in the leaves. So It's a pigment ink. It takes a bit to dry, so I've already gone and done all of that. Now, let me kind of share a tip with you. And I've shared this before, but if you're new here, you don't know. So on that brushed silver from Altenew, these two pieces here, and I'm going to try to tilt it. I don't know. I'm not seeing it in my camera. I'm not seeing. So my plates were really etched. And all that etching is around the peripheral. Now, if you're using a good-sized chunk of metallic cardstock, you're going to ruin whatever you're not die cutting out of because it's going to be so etched. I don't know if any of that is showing. Let me see. Gosh, I'm just not seeing it, but it is there. In real life, it's bad. Like, I've got etching going every which direction. If you'll use a cutting mat on top, and this just happens to be scrapbook.com's magic mat, and I don't care if it's been cut into and cut into and cut into, because my old one had been. I've never ever had it leave any etch marks in my silver. Well, now, which ones was I showing you? Oh, those are the ones where I use a magic mat. No wonder they weren't showing. Now, let's see. I picked up the wrong ones. Well, of course I did. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's showing. There's a really deep etch mark right there. There's one right there. I've got them everywhere. But that will save your sanity if you will do that. Either that or you're going to put a piece of cardstock on top. But the thing is, then you're going to have the outline of the die in your cardstock. And in my opinion, that is a waste of cardstock. Unless you've can get away with doing typing paper or something like that. Maybe you can. And now we are going to get ready and glue these together. Now, I will tell you what I did on my dies. Haven't done it on my stamps yet. So on the back of my dies, if I can slide this out, on the very back, I put a little dot to show where was my top. And that can be anywhere you want to put it. I did the same thing for this one. I marked where it was going to line up and match. That does two things. It helps you not lose your sanity as you're trying to line these back up to put them away. Let me slide this over a little bit. I don't have any room. And of course I've got it slid a little bit. There we go. Now it's all back together. But it will help you with that. It'll help you with that a lot. And it helps you also get to know the outlines of your dies to better be able to line them up. I've already mentioned that you've got that edge here that is flat-ish. It's not totally flat, but it's not near as scalloped as the rest of the die. And so on your solid piece, you're going to look at that and you're going to figure out where that flat-ish area is, which is right here at the top. And you're going to know how you need to line that up. And do I have my glue? I don't have my glue ready. And I did not refill this poor little glue bottle here. It's getting pretty low. Now, I'm just going to take and just dot a little bit of glue here and there to get this on here. I don't feel the need to have to cover the whole thing. You want the middle anchored down. And if you've been careful, your metallic part, if you do it like I'm doing it, is going to be, relatively not bent and lay flat. It'll be all right. Now, let me get this lined up and fitted. And press that down. And I guess I'm going to use a big block So there's one. Got 2 more to do. And we will be ready to start decorating. I have also semi-pre-done my sentiment. I'm not totally finished with it. I'll show you that here in just a second. But I do hope everybody's been well. Hope everyone has been having a great spring. Seeing the irises pop up, all that kind of thing. It's been awesome. It has been awesome. And of course the daffodils and hyacinths and just all the things of spring. Got a little bit of glue there. I'm just going to take that up with my finger. Make sure I'm lined up. Okay. I'm going to throw him under there. And we're going to get the last one, which is the smaller one. Get the glue on here. And I'll show you how I am going to lay it out on my card front. And I will be popping at least 1, if not 2 of them up. There we go. There's my flat edge there on top. Here is my flat edge here on top. And ta-da! Get it moved in there. A little bit of glue came out. That's okay. We got it. We got it. There's no glue showing on the silver because I was so delicate. I don't have that one perfectly done. We're not going to worry about it. It still looks super good. Okay. Now, I've got some extra pieces over here. I'm not going to worry about that for the minute. So now I'm going to bring this in and we're going to start laying this out with the leaves. And I definitely think I want a bigger one toward the top, maybe a bigger one toward the bottom, and then I want the smaller one to kind of be in the middle. And I kind of think I want them to overlap. That's why I said we may end up popping them up with some foam tape. Although I don't have foam tape, okay? I still have Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and that's what I'm going to be using. And if we slide one in here, right about there. And now you can make your leaves darker if you want more pop on the green. I kind of kept my greens light because I had that darker blue going on. And then we're going to put another leaf cluster over here. So something about like that. Now what I'm wondering, here is my partially done sentiment. And I did heat emboss that with clear embossing powder after I used my VersaFine for fine details. And I ink blended white cardstock with the tumbled glass. So there we go. What I haven't done yet is take that salty ocean to edge around it. And we'll do that here in just a second. And then I had to take my microfiber cloth and go over where I had embossed to remove any residual area of the ink. Because honestly, I did the embossing first and then I did the ink blending. But there is some dimension and there is some sparkle. If I can get that to show, maybe not. Anyway, we're going to grab our salty ocean. And I may have enough left on my brush. I don't know. But I just really want to go around the edge. And I'm not just keeping it straight on the edge. I'm actually coming in just a little ways. So we can get more of that. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to have enough left on my brush. So I'm going to get a little bit more ink. So I really think I want it just a bit darker. There we go. Now we're cooking. I just want some of this around the edge so it will frame my sentiment. I'm going to have a little bit of that glow in the middle from the lighter blue, the tumbled glass. Almost there. Hopefully I won't have to ink it up again. Yeah, we're going to put a little bit in there. There we go. Kind of even that up. And isn't that pretty? That just kind of makes that whole happy birthday part pop a little bit more. And it ties in with the light and dark areas on our flowers. So now what I need to do, I'm in my jammies, okay? I'm in my jammies. It's just been one of them days. It's a jammy day. Oh, heavens. So, I'm kind of looking because I don't want to have to cover up a flower. So, we're going to go up a little higher with our flowers. Let me see. That's probably about right. And maybe like this. Like this, and let's just kind of see, just for effect. And if I put one here, of course that'll be tucked underneath, and one here, like so, I will have plenty of room for my sentiment down here. There's one more thing I want to do to my sentiment. We did that real small one. I am going to take and glue that down over here on my layer. I really, really, really would appreciate having tweezers and lay that right there. Right there. Just like that. Isn't that cute? That's adorable. With very little effort. Alright, so let's start with all this. In order to make sure I can tuck my leaves under, I am only going to put glue around the middle-ish part. Very middle and maybe a little bit more. But I want to have room. That's going to be plenty to hold my flower down. Lay that right there. And we're going to do a leaf coming out. Well, I'm out of camera. I was holding it over here next to me. And we're just going to tuck that ever so gently right up about like so. Okay. And then I have this bigger one. I'm going to do it last. I'm going to take this one. And if I overlap them a little bit, I almost need to put some dimension behind the rest of it. So let me get these out. And let's see here. I need to put it right about over here. There's one. You get another one right here. And that may be enough. And I kind of think it will be. So let's just go ahead and pop them down. Because this has got some thickness. The cardstock underneath has got some thickness. And yes, that's perfect. Now, I don't want that rising up. I don't know why I didn't think to put any glue down there, but now I've got it. Now we've got the glue. That's going to hold that very nicely when it sets up. Did I get it under there? Not where I needed to. So, yep, sorry guys. I don't know what I was thinking. There we go. Now, that will take hold here in just a second. And then this one, about like so, maybe over this way a little bit more, because I did want to put one of these leaves right up in here. So, all right, let's get some more dimensionals here. And I'm going to go on this side. It really doesn't matter what side you do as long as you get good lift and good coverage on the side you want to. Wow. That's really over there right to the edge. I don't want that right to the edge. Can I salvage it? Oh, maybe. There we go. Much better. Much better. And then, because I know some of that will overlap, we're going to take and just put some glue right up in here. And we are going to, how far down do I want to come? Like I said, I want to make sure I have got plenty of room for my leaf up under here. So, let's get this tucked in. And it's a little late here during the day. It has been one of those days. There we go. I don't want the stem showing, but I want the little flourishy thing showing. There we go, getting that down. Is that not holding? Did I not get enough? Yeah, I got enough. I did get enough. I just need to do one of those numbers. So there we go. And so on the inside of my card, I don't know what I want to put yet. But I am going to put my layers of cardstock that I want in there. But isn't this a cute set? My word, it's adorable. I'll lay that there. And I don't think I'm going to pop my sentiment up. I just don't think I'm going to. However, before I put that glue on, I do want to kind of see where I want it. Do I want it over here? Since my flowers are kind of shifted to the left, I kind of think I might want to shift this over a little bit to the right. And come on. You can do it. Absolutely. So yeah, and I'm looking to see, not only is it straight, but that I have about the same distance here on the side as I do on the bottom. Oh, isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? And it wasn't hard. Wasn't hard to do at all. One other product that I don't use as often as I should because I love it so much is the Hero Arts Pearls White. But before we do that, let's take this tape out of the inside that was holding it shut just to make it easier to add the layers to the front. And I do have my gray cardstock and my light blue cardstock. Now, the blue is light enough that I can write a message, stamp a message, do a little of both on the inside. I can. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. You can add a white layer if you want to, but it is not absolutely necessary. But I am just so I can end this video knowing the card is complete-ish. Okay. So my gray layer is 4 by 5 1/4. And my blue layer, no, I'm lying. No, that's right. Well, shoot. You know it's been a minute. Let's measure. So, yeah, my gray layer is 4 by 5 1/4. And my blue layer is 3 3/4 by 5. And, again, you know, I don't know. I may end up adding a white layer to it when all is said and done. It's just going to depend. Let me cap my glue again. Now, I have an extra leaf. If I would like to add one to the inside of the card, that would be fine. But I do want to bring in my Hero Pearls White. I love these so much. The consistency is perfect. And because it's a pearl white, it's not a stark white. And it almost has that silvery kind of look to it. I'm going to put one there. Put a little one there. And when they dry, they do dry a little flatter than how they go on. I'm going to put one there. Now, I want you to look at the tonality of those pearls. They're not stark white, but they're not silver. They're almost kind of like an in-between look. That is so cute. I love it. Guys, I tried not to keep you here as long as I did in the other video, but I can see right now I am at 40 minutes. Oh, my heavens. I've got an envelope here. And this is something I overlook a lot of times, and I'm sure some of you do the same thing. And I think I'm going to take this leftover leaf and just pop it there in the corner. And that is going to give whoever gets this card a little hint of what they're going to see on the inside when they open it. A little hint. But I've been getting a few goodies here and there. Not just a whole lot, but things I haven't even had a chance to really play with yet. I'm capping my glue off camera. But isn't that cute? Look at that cute little set. Now, is this something I would mass produce with? No, it is not. No. There is no way. I would be pulling my hair out. But this is so cute. And don't forget, you could take and punch out some of these in your top layer, the white layer, and have another layer under it that's ink blended. Wouldn't that be adorable? Anyway. And perhaps, you know, at some point I will go ahead and do that. Now, I can't remember if Wendy Cranford is an affiliate with Spellbinders. If she is, I will be using her links to link to the dies. And the stamp set is available. I think they have it on scrapbook.com. They have it at Simon Says Stamp. They have it at Ranger Ink. Because Simon Hurley is a partner with Ranger Ink, so you're going to find it there. However, it's Spellbinders that makes the dies. I know it's on Spellbinders' site and may also be on scrapbook.com site. The stamp set is, I believe, about $18, $19, and I'm trying to go from memory. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That is so awesome. And the dies were not as much. Let's see. I'm on my computer right behind me. Yes, $17.99 for the stamp, the background stamp. $14.99 for that set of dies. But how sweet, how cute is this whole set? I love it so much. Anyway, guys, until we meet again, do be safe. I hope you're enjoying your spring, almost summertime. Hope everyone is well, doing well. But God is good all the time. Till we meet again, you're in my prayers. Bye.